Nah, I'm just playing with you. How we all doing this fine Saturday night? It is yet again another Transformers Slag podcast Saturday night live stream main event. This is the voice and this is the face of the mug that you have to listen to 5 times a week. And now it is Saturday. Fan First Friday has passed, and we are going to cover all the stuff that they talked about, some of the stuff that they didn't talk about, oddly enough, a lot of stuff that they didn't cover in the segment, and then some. Got some cool stuff in the mail. We'll talk about that. We'll take some super chats from the fans, and we'll just enjoy this weekend like we always do. So then, shall we? We're not starting with the Fan First Friday yet, though, but we'll move slowly into that, shall we? First up, the big news of it all, which will probably have something to do with our Fan First Friday when we get to that later on, is inflation. I talked about it. The beginning of the week on Monday. And a memo was sent out to all distributors and large stores that carry Hasbro product. And CEO Chris Cox pretty much was letting them know that starting March 28th, 2022, there will be a wide rollout of inflation of the MSRP of all their Hasbro products, including Transformers. Now, according to the memo here, they specify specifically raw materials and container costs being the primary reason for these increases in prices. Some charts that I'm showing here, you guys here, the current price for container freights for global distribution, if you look just within the past 2 years, has gone up 700%. So containers used to be about $1,700 and now are almost $9,000. Woo! It's going down a little bit, as you can see in the past couple of weeks, but not looking good. And in the bottom right graph, plastic costs have been going up 300%, literally in the past decade or so. So combined with that and a lot of other issues going on in the world and all the craziness that is going on, Hasbro is going to be rolling out a new MSRP for our Transformer product at the end of March. Coincidentally, what happens April 1st? It's the launch of Transformers Legacy. So when Legacy makes its true street date release, we will have new price points for all of our product. We already know pretty much through Hasbro Pulse what our deluxe price point is going to be, $25, or in some cases in Walmart, $24.97, but we don't know what the other ones are going to be yet. Some rumors is that the core class might be unaffected by it, but some of the others won't be. We don't know, but we shall see. But keep in mind, people, it's coming, and there's going to be a huge inflation, and we are gonna feel it. It's already happened in Canada, actually. It started hitting Toys R Us's here. So, but for our United States viewers, keep in mind inflation is on its way, and that's straight from Chris Cox, CEO of Hasbro. So, kind of sucks. Next up, let's talk about some model kits from Flame Toys. Farai models, Flame Toys, we talked about it briefly this week, and it's that of their Farai Hound model kit. This was a model kit that was supposed to come out in 2017, was shown off at the Hong Kong Toy Expo, and then went into purgatory. And now we finally get a good idea at what this boy looks like. Looks pretty good. Little bit of a mixture of Demolisher from Armada meets Hound from the Movieverse meets G1 Hound, with extremely exaggerated weapons and designs and shapes and forms, much like all the other Farai model kits. I think they're fantastic. I've built quite a few of these. I love them. But then again, I'm kind of a seasoned model kit person. But you don't need to be someone who really knows what you're doing. They're all snapped together. You don't need paint. And they still look pretty darn polished. I still haven't gotten my Windblade yet in the mail. But when I do, I know I will be absolutely loving it. So pretty cool stuff. Otherwise, if you're a Hound fan, hey, now you got a crazy looking Hound to look forward to. Awesome stuff. Otherwise, check it out, yo. Then we have some Haslab news. Guido Guidi showed off the box art for our Haslab Victory Saber, Star Saber Victory Leo. Guido Guidi has worked within the Transformer brand for easily 2 decades now and has done a ton of amazing art and stuff like that. And now he's going to be contributing his talent to the box art of the Transformers Legacy Haslab Victory Saber 2-pack. This does kind of confirm that unlike Unicron, this will have something that's more of a retail flavored kind of packaging. Unicron came in something that was much more similar to what we're used to with Generation Selects, with the simple brown box with, I guess we could call it black and white art, or brown and black art. Either way, it's a nice change. Looks really good. Again, kind of solidifies my belief that this always could have been a retail product. But, you know, let's see how much money we could squeeze out of the fans for this one. But it is what it is. Looks pretty good, though. Looks pretty good. I like what I see here. Guido did a very good job with a very anime-inspired Transformers Victory kind of look with the schematic of Victory Saber in the background there. A lot of cool stuff. And if you look very carefully on the top left one there, you got Holly and Fire, the 2 little Micromasters, which were the unlockable, I guess we'll call it Kickstarter, but the unlockable backer goals. So there's going to be some art of the 2 little Micromasters also. So that's a nice little touch too. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. Hopefully we'll get some more information, some better images in the near future of our future Haslab product. That is Star Saber. So let's get into the elephant in the room, and it is that of the Haslab Fan First Friday. We were excited about it. There was this thing of, oh, we're going to have 14 reveals, maybe even 15. Maybe if I don't read my papers right, maybe even more, you know. But what we got is a whole bunch of stuff, and some people were happy about it. Some people were not happy about it. Some people were, some people were kind of disappointed. But we'll go through this and that, cover some stuff that they didn't really talk about, break down what we saw. So first thing that they showed us wasn't new to us, but it was nice to get some nicer images of it. And it was that of the Studio Series Bumblebee movie RC in her robot mode and alt mode. Give us a better look at it and clearer images. Last time we saw anything of this toy was pretty much just Evan holding it in his hand and Mark holding it in his hand on the grainy webcams that they had, so it was kind of hard to make out the figure proper. But now we got a really good look at RC here, and I think she looks fantastic. I think it really shows how you could really make a good female form out of just pretty much anything if you apply yourself in terms of the alt mode. And she looks fantastic. She looks really, really, really good. Again, Evan and Mark both showed, hey, here's how you could do the wheel foot mode if you want to do that. A lot of cool stuff there. She looks really good. I don't know what more I could say except that I'm really looking forward to her with her dual pistols and her boosters and everything, and looks like the Tron cycle. I love it. I love it. Looks great. Looks really good. Maybe we could get Transformers Crossovers collaboration for a Tron anniversary and use this RC mold. Who knows? Would be pretty cool. Now we have our actual reveals. So we had two items essentially that we didn't see through, whether it be leaks, whether it be people getting stuff from the factory and doing early videos. These are our two brand new items, so let's get into that. We got our Studio Series Bumblebee movie Ironhide. Now this one, even though it's something we haven't seen before, it's probably, I don't want to say it's not exciting. It's just that, we already saw Ratchet, so we already have a pretty good idea of what everything is here and how it was going to look. The main difference between the two is the brand new head sculpt and the light bar being absent. Aside from that, it's pretty much the exact same toy. Nice touch with the little yellow on the side of the vehicle mode, homaging the old G1 toy. looks pretty good otherwise, but it has the same weapon. It has the same sculpt, more or less, except it's Ironhide. So it's, and again, that's pretty much what has been the history of those two characters together since the beginning of time, since the days of G1 in 1984. So it's no surprise, but at the same time, despite it being a brand new reveal to us, there's nothing else that really can be said. It still looks cool, though. Still looks cool. The fact that they could give us toys for characters that only been on the screen for 5 seconds in the Bumblebee movie. Hopefully, maybe more. Maybe more in a sequel. Maybe we'll see. But still looks pretty cool otherwise. The next exciting one, this was the one that was the real, like, hey, here's our brand new product, and here's what Proto Man used for his GIF in his hype on Twitter leading up to the stream today. Let's talk about our Dinobot. Let's talk about the Brontosaurus. Let's talk about Studio Series 86 Leader Class Sludge. Now, this is a CG mock-up, which pretty much will give us a 90% idea of what the toy will look like. Unfortunately, it does not come with a sword, and I guess fortunately it doesn't come with a partner. What I mean by partner is Grimlock came with a non-transformable partner rider of Wheelie, and Slag, aka Slug, came with a partner of Daniel in Exosuit. This time around, I think the absence of a partner, 50% of it probably has to do with the fact that the core class is now a thing in Studio Series, and they could probably put more focus and attention into those smaller figures, transformable or not, into the core class. The other part of me feels that also Sludge is a big chunky guy, big chunky dino, but he looks really good. I like how he looks. You know, Brontosaurus is always a cool thing. Evan pointed out, if you look very carefully, and I posted a little image here in the top right, that on the inside of his mouth, he actually has a plug-in port for all of those little blast effects and energy projectiles. So if you own, I guess, probably the best versions of those that could really give you that fire effect for a Brontosaurus. I don't know, like Siege Jetfire has some really good ones, a whole bunch of those. Omega Supreme has some really good ones. Maybe even Tricranicus had a whole bunch, but those ones are not as orange. They're more blue and red. But I'm pretty sure I know I'm forgetting something. There's a whole bunch of them that could probably do a really good job. It's a shame it's not included, though. I'm pretty sure some people would have liked if it was included. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just not shown here. And I mentioned that because here's the other image. We also got some really good examples of pretty much how we're going to have our the articulation on the neck and everything. And with the articulation on the neck and how that all looks, I mean, it looks awesome. And the box art shows him spitting fire, so maybe he's going to have an energy weapon, a blast effect, something. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that there's something there. I'm kind of hoping. We got a super chat from Princeton Phalanx 59, and yeah, now we have the super chats that show up on the screen too. I should have probably put that since the beginning, but I just realized it recently. Hey Proto, where do you think Hasbro will fill the other two Dinobots in? Well, that's the thing I was going to get into. So Evan and Matt both mentioned that this completes our trio of Dinobots, and the worry was a lot of people were figuring, well, is that it? They're only going to do those 3 Dinobots? I think for the Studio Series 86 line in the indefinite future, which probably will only be a year, this is it for the Dinobots, and these actually are the original trio of Dinobots, the SOS Dinobots, first appearance crew, where I figure what's probably going to happen is sometime down the line, we're probably going to get Snarl. Because, like, when I look at it like this, in terms of a leader class, Snarl makes sense. He's also a big, chunky Stegosaurus. I could see him working as a leader class and being part of the crew, and he'll fit into that scale. I mean, Snarl is no bigger than Slag, a.k.a. Slug here. So I can imagine, like, side by side, they'd be the same. But he wasn't part of the original trio, and he was in the 86 movie, but blink and you'll miss it. you know? So I think that's another reason why they also didn't go out of their way to include him. And then when we get to Swoop, Swoop is considerably smaller than the rest of the Dinobots, especially in robot mode. And I could see Swoop being like a Voyager scale, a large Voyager. Maybe they could do something where it's a Voyager and you kind of fold it down in the packaging with the wings. And so when it's in robot mode, it's a lot larger. There's tricks that they could do to pull it off and make it look really good. But I imagine that we'll get both of them. We will. We'll get the other two, but it'll be at some point later. I talked about in my Discord how the sad reality is when we got our first Classics Grimlock back in 2006, it took us more than a decade to get our complete Dinobots by the time we got the Power of the Prime. So it's something that I hope that we don't have to wait another 10 years to get a complete Dinobot set through this. Hopefully we'll get it within the next 3 to 4 years. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's just kind of how the schedule is. We kind of know what's going to be happening for 2022 and a little bit of 2023. So we probably don't have these guys on the schedule just yet. But I think we will get them at some point. Who knows? They might make an appearance in Studio Series. They might make an appearance in Legacy or whatever will be the sequel to Legacy. But I do feel we will get our other two dinos at some point. And again, they look fantastic. The only other thing that I feel is missing too, and I show it there on the bottom right, no pop out blast effect energy eyes for good old Sludge here. Kind of a shame, but still looks fantastic. Looks really good. I dig the robot mode. I dig the alt mode. It's one of those cases where it's like, man, like both modes look good. Both modes look just delicious. It's hard to say which mode you want to have it displayed in, but we'll see what happens in the future. Let's get into some stuff that wasn't really surprises, but there was some information that was interesting that was mentioned. What I liked about the Fan First Friday was at least a lot of the designers were going back and forth and talking about some of the ideas and stuff that they went through when they were doing this stuff. What we at least learned from all of this is that the Transformers Legacy, Sandstorm, Buzzsaw, and Night Prowler here that were originally assumed to be Generation Selects releases are going to be Walmart exclusives available through the Legacy line, through basic retail. And that's at least good news for people because they'll have a better opportunity to pick it up than just something that would have been just online in one bubble. What was cool is Evan also pointed out that if you look very carefully on Night Prowler's crest on his forehead, he does not have a Maximal logo, but an Autobot logo. That is an homage to the fact that he came from the Universe 1.0 2003 series, which didn't have Maximals and Predacons, but Autobots and Decepticons fighting inside Unicron in the Universe Wars and all that craziness, which is in a lot of ways what Legacy is. It's kind of like the Universe Wars, all the different characters from all different continuities fighting in one. We don't know the full story of it, but we do know that they're all being teleported from somewhere. That was mentioned by Ben, the marketer, how the purple energon in the background is a portal. So this is kind of continuing the Amazon Golden Disc collection where two of the characters were teleported from another universe or another world, and that kind of continues that idea. And I dig it because when you do stuff like that, it opens it up to anything. I loved Kingdom, but because of Kingdom's story, there was only so much you could have. You either have Beast Wars characters or you have Generation 1 characters. You can't have like Armada Optimus Prime just show up. Where in this case, you could have anyone from anywhere at any time show up. And if that's the groove of Legacy, along with some Energon weapons, I'm down. I'm down for it. Looks pretty good otherwise. Now, here's some stuff that they didn't cover. And I'm surprised they didn't cover it. They covered some of it. They covered the reissue, retro reissues. Oh, we got a super chat. It's going to pop up any second here. Trevor Stasic with the gold super chat for $10. Hey Proto, Sandstorm, Night Prowler, and Buzzsaw had a plastic window in the Legacy packaging sample shown. Can we expect a return to windows at retails moving forward? Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Trevor. That's probably something that maybe was, at least my assumption is, maybe it was something that was a recommendation by Walmart as a Walmart exclusive. Maybe Walmart was like, look, hey, we want these to be Walmart exclusives, but could you have ours have a window on them? Maybe they were worried about theft or something like that. I mean, when you have an exclusive, the retailers are kind of able to make some suggestions. So that probably might be a Walmart thing. But people have been already picking up the Core Class Studio Series stuff. It doesn't have a window. Already the Cyberverse Season 4 stuff, like the Deluxe Class, doesn't have a window. So there is stuff that doesn't have the windows, but I think this might have been a Walmart exclusive kind of request. Actually, now that I think about it, the retro Beast Wars stuff that has the windows, and that's a Walmart exclusive. The RED stuff, which also is a Walmart exclusive, has a window. That's a plastic window. So it might be a Walmart thing. Could be a Walmart thing. At least that's to my knowledge. That's what I think. I mean, I could be wrong. But thank you for the gold super chat, brother. But yeah, so getting into the reissue stuff. So the one that they didn't bring up was In Demand Toys recently got a whole bunch of images of all the stuff that we pretty much discussed due to Fan First Friday. But one thing that Hasbro didn't cover was they had a image for the Walmart 2022 reissue Cyber Shark. Now, we knew Cyber Shark was coming because of different listings and everything like that that said that. We'll cover some of the other listings in a moment, including one that popped up just today. But what I am fascinated about with this one this time around is all the reissues of the Beast Wars stuff we had up to this point has used the Rocky Bubble packaging and the very scaly packaging, as you see in the middle here. Even when they did some 96, 97 characters that didn't have the Rocky Bubble packaging and the scaled card back, like Tigatron is one example, they still stayed true to that and kept the Rocky Bubble packaging. Now this time around with Cyber Shark, they're doing more of the round packaging that's more similar to his original. His original's on the left there. The original 1997 Series 3 release of Cyber Shark. Obviously, the card back is still more evocative of that 95 release, which had that more sharper detail. 96 and 97 packaging of Beast Wars had that more muted, orangey, fuzzy kind of scales in the background like you see right there. So it's kind of a fusion of the two, a little bit of the non-Rocky Bubble with the different packaging, but it's still very similar to that first wave. So even though it's supposed to be an homage and a throwback to the old card backs, this Cyber Shark is quite different than how it looked from its original. It's still pretty close, but otherwise still the little aesthetics of the 95 Wave 1 release. I mean, I know I'm going deep into this and it sounds like I'm complaining, but I like stuff that really is a replica, because when I buy these reissues, I don't open them because I already own all of these figures. So I like to keep them in the package because they just make really nice wall pieces just to kind of hang and display. And I really like it when they kind of try their best to look like the originals. Obviously not 100%. But I mean, it's still pretty cool otherwise. And Cyber Shark, by the way, is a fantastic mold. Pick it up any way you can. This reissue, secondary market, I don't care. Fantastic mold, really cool. One of the few characters that got a little CG cinematic in his commercial that he appeared in. Cyber Shark was one of the few guys that actually got a little CG mock-up in the commercial for himself back in 97. But he looks really cool. The only thing is, though, so here is the two images on the right here. We have the reissue stock photo, and we have the reissue product here in the packaging. This isn't a reflection of how the final product is going to look. Historically, all of the reissues we've gotten thus far from Beast Wars have some kind of aesthetic change, whether it be plastic colors or something like that. So far, this Cyber Shark looks like the original Cyber Shark toy. I don't see anything different right down to the spots and everything, but maybe in person it'll be like, oh, it's a more sharper metallic, light silvery light blue on the hammerhead body. Who knows? But we'll find out when we get it. I know I will be very excited to pick it up because it is a fantastic toy, and to have it on display on the wall will look just gorgeous. And speaking of other fantastic Beast Wars stuff, is yet again another one of our reissue reveals, which was just this morning. There was this comes courtesy of JT Prime 17 through the Walmart listings, the EAN code for a Tra-Gen Beast Wars Maximal Wolfang. Now, we knew that we were going to be getting Cyber Shark, and on the top there, Cyber Shark, Pterosaur, Tarantulas, and K9. Those were the 4 that were listed that we were supposed to be getting for the next wave of Beast Wars reissues. We did not know about a Wolfang. Perhaps there is a possibility that maybe K9 was actually Wolfang, or maybe we actually are getting both. Either way, if you're getting both, that doesn't make a difference because they're both absolutely fantastic molds. Wolfang and K9 are probably, for me at least, one of the top, if not top 5 Beast Wars molds that I felt should have been in the show, that would have been a cool addition to the cast, because they're fantastic toys, they're fantastic engineering, the gimmick on how they work, how they store their weapons, the mutant head is really cool with the battle mask, the shield, the way his missiles are stored like little rib cages. There's so much going on with that mold for a deluxe class that I'm super happy that people will get a second opportunity to pick it up. And the best thing about it is that Wolfang to K9, his more German Shepherd counterpart repaint, is actually a major resculpt. So there's the differences between the two are quite different also. Not just the battle mask, but the robot mode, the alt mode, the weapons, the tail, everything is resculpted. So they're almost like 2 different toys in a lot of ways. Kind of like a Sunstreaker to a Sideswipe is the best way to put it. And I've always compared the two to that in a lot of ways. And we got a brand new subscriber in Michael. I'm going to have to use this notification thing more often. Why haven't I done it before? I do not know. But yeah, hey, awesome stuff otherwise. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. I am super excited that people will be able to get it. I am super excited. And the last thing we're going to cover of Fan First Friday was the franchise-related stuff. Now, I was hoping we'd probably learn something about maybe our new TV series, maybe a new Netflix series, maybe the new Nickelodeon series. Hey, what's happening with BotBots? What's happening, with everything? What's happening with the movie? Could we get some little pieces of that? Unfortunately, we didn't. Instead, we got apps and apps and apps. And it's pretty much just mobile stuff, mobile app stuff. I mean, I guess PlayStation VR is probably the closest we got to console-related stuff. So we have some app stuff. First one was the Transformers Beyond Reality. This is, if anyone remembers, a couple of years ago, we had the Transformers Human Alliance and Transformers Shadow Rising arcade machines. They were found in a lot of play centers and arcades. It was an on-rails shooter kind of Cybertronian game where you helped the Autobots fight against the Decepticons. And it was a movie aesthetic kind of game. This time around, it looks like they took that same kind of, I guess, engine, that same kind of concept. They gave it the evergreen kind of flavor this time around, although the Insecticons had the Fall of Cybertron High Moon design, so I was kind of confused by that, but whatever. Probably was just the animation models that were at their disposal. But so on both PlayStation VR and Steam VR is going to be Beyond Reality, a VR Transformer shooter very similar to that of the Human Alliance and Shadow Rising arcade games. If you're kind of curious what those are like, some people have posted full playthroughs of those arcade games online, so it'll give you a bit of an idea of what you'll be getting your hands on. I mean, it looks fun, I guess, but it's also one of those things that you kind of play it once and then you never play it again. So, sure, alrighty. Then we got some collaboration stuff with Top War again. So they already did stuff with Top War before. It's a strategy kind of, similar to, Forge of Empires and all of that. So now it's their next expansion, the War Against Unicron, the Darkness Within Us expansion. And the big thing about it is Unicron is going to be one of the villains you got to defeat. The new characters you could use are RC, Blaster with Ramhorn, and Soundwave with Laserbeak. And those are all scheduled for March 2022 of next month. Forgot to mention also the PSVR thing. They said it's going to be March 31st that's going to come out if you want the PSVR or the Steam VR for the Transformers Beyond Reality. And then, last but not least, we have the Transformers Forged to Fight stuff, which they also forgot to mention in the Fan First Friday, but it was the last of the trio, or not the trio, I guess the quartet in this case, because we do have the COM thing, which we'll talk about too, but the trio of the video game related stuff. And Forged to Fight is going to have their 9.0 update. There's going to be 4 new bots. Who those 4 new bots, we don't know. probably Ironhide and Skywarp, judging by this. And that's going to be available February 8th, so just in a couple of days. So if you like Forge to Fight, at least that's still around. But you know how it is with a lot of these apps. Don't put too much money in them, because one day you wake up and it's gone. Oh, don't I know that with Transformer Legends. Anyways, the last one we got here is the Calm app, which is a sleep app. I talked about it in the individual segment. And it's just Optimus Prime telling you a little bedtime story about the history of the Transformers and the beginning of the early stages of the Cybertronian War with the Autobots and Decepticons. Seems pretty nice, actually. I gave it a listen. It's pretty nice. It's not anything revolutionary, but having Mr. Cullen talk to you to sleep doesn't seem too bad when you think about it. And has that Transformers movie kind of soundtrack, Steve Jablonsky kind of flavor to the background music. So I dig it. It's pretty cool. A little pricey. The full subscription for the year is a little pricey. I believe it's $69.99, but there is a 7-day trial if you want to try it out and see what you're dealing with. So check it out if you want. It's on the App Store right now and should be available as of this live recording. And that's more or less it. It's quite unfortunate that we had a Fan First Friday and there wasn't that much. It's kind of, but I feel like either they're holding back and they want to do more Fan First Fridays later, or they're just really trying to play catch up. The one thing that caught my eye was, I believe it was Evan in the stream said it wasn't Groundhog Day yet. Now, I know that all of these Fan First Fridays are pre-recorded, but when we watched it on Friday, Groundhog Day was already like 3 days had passed from Groundhog Day. So clearly this was recorded even before that. So they're really playing catch up in a lot of ways. Maybe they didn't know what was going to be live. Maybe they didn't know what was going to be leaked. And like I say, it is what it is. Just want to go over some sponsors and other stuff too. Number one, the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Episode 1 of the Armada episode of Transformers Armada Behind the Scenes is now live. So be sure to check that out. The Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Be sure to go and subscribe there if you have not subscribed. It's a absolutely fantastic little podcast that me and Aaron put together where we dive deep into both Hasbro and Kenner's history of toys. It's not just Transformers, it's Batman, it's Star Wars, it's Aliens, it's a whole bunch of stuff, whole bunch of cool stuff. We did a little bit of Jurassic Park too, but if you're into that, check it out. It's really good stuff. We really go deep into the history of toys and how they're made, how the sausage is made in a lot of ways. And of course our sponsors, Symbiote Studios, with their shirts, their pins, and their plush with the big Kron. SymbioteStudios.com. Check the pin comment or the description below if you want to pick up some Transformer pins, t-shirts, and of course, big old plush. Not everything is available on the website. There will be restock because stuff has been selling out pretty crazy. So when you do see it, grab it when you can because there have been some retired plush. That Unicron is massive. I believe it is sold out as of this recording. I could be wrong. I have to check. But I know that a lot of people have been picking it up because that boy is massive. Look how big he is. It doesn't do him justice. And of course, they're cool t-shirts. I'm rocking the Grimlock one today due to our recent Dinobot news of Sludge. But of course, also they have their brand new version 2 of Soundwave that is out because they've retired their version 1 of Soundwave. So version 2 Soundwave is out with the visor. Bumblebee is back in stock. Hopefully it's not sold out already because Bumblebee was you can barely see him. He's just poking out over there. He was a bestseller. So pretty awesome stuff. And of course, there's still way more to come in the future. 2022 is going to have a whole bunch of brand new plush from them. Hopefully by the time Chinese New Year's is over, because the factories in not just China, but Vietnam and everywhere, they take time off to be able to just go see their families and relax and enjoy. It's kind of like their Christmas vacation in a lot of ways. They just kind of have it a little later. So we'll finally get some final product images to show on the podcast of the future plush. But let me tell you something. I've already seen some of the prototypes. They look good, son. They look good. I'm very excited about Mr. Number One all the way on the left with the question mark. Let's just say he looks real good. And of course, check out their other Hasbro-related stuff, whether it be their Snake Eyes, their Storm Shadow, their Cobra Commander. Snake Eyes is with little Timber over there. Man, I'd really like it if there was a Dusty with Sandstorm. That's my favorite G.I. Joe character. I always loved Dusty as a kid. But also other Hasbro products, like Power Rangers and My Little Pony. So be sure to check that out. And of course, Hasbro. Check out their Transformer YouTube channel playing the Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures Season 4. Go check it out after this. Go watch a couple episodes and enjoy more of the Transformer world. And that's it. That's it. So we're going to take some Super Chats, and while the Super Chats start rolling in, I'll just let you guys know what I got this week. I got a few things here and there. Got a big old case of stuff from Mikey and Louie. This was a figure I was trying to track down for, about 2 years now. This was the exclusive 2-pack Protoform Optimus Prime. It never came out in Canada, and for some weird reason, didn't have a strong secondary market kind of presence. I always wanted it because I wanted it to be my stand-in for Prima. It has the Cybertronian on the chest. It has that Prima kind of look, and then I put the Dr. Wu Star Saber with Matrix Blade accessory. Just looks absolutely fantastic. I love this figure. According to Aaron Archer, he said he designed this figure in 1 day. So that's pretty crazy. I don't know if Aaron's in the chat today. I didn't see. But yeah, awesome figure. Super excited to pick it up. I did some posts on Instagram and on YouTube. Not YouTube. On Twitter, showing it off. It looks really good. It looks really good. Mikey and Louie also sent some cool Transformers TCG custom stuff. I still play the Transformer TCG, one of those crazy guys that still do. Some 3D printed life counters of Decepticons and Autobots, which are really cool. It's kind of hard to see with the camera, but it has the life counters on there. Oh, it's 8. It's 6. It's 69. And this one's really cool. It's the Matrix of Leadership, but it's a dice shaker, so you could get your D20 in there, and it's pretty cool. And then you're like, oh, there's your number. So that's pretty cool. Little Matrix shaped dice shaker for your D20, and then a whole bunch of custom cards. I'm not going to show them all. I'll just show 2 of them. We never got a Scorponok giant play card, and then this one. Here's Scorponok, which is a giant one, but you know who's even bigger than Scorponok? A giant size Unicron Transformers TCG card. It is crazy, and I love what goes on. I like how when he's in planet mode, he can't attack, but he can destroy by sucking things up, by using these chaos counters. And then when he transforms, he is just a beast. And for anyone who knows the Transformer TCG, he's 25 stars. So you got to commit. If you use Unicron, he's the only guy that's on your team. And look, nice, super hard Unicron card. If you are interested in these, I'm going to talk to Louie and Mikey, and maybe they could post some links and stuff, and you guys could get your hands on this. But this is absolutely cool. I can't wait for when the cons open up proper and we could do some cool TCG events. I'm going to bring all of this stuff so we can have fun and play with this stuff. This is crazy. Really cool. Really cool. And again, just to give you guys like context, right? Let me just grab a small one. So here's a regular size character card, and then let me just grab Flame War here. So regular size character card, usually like a mini con or a Micromaster. Then you have the normal Cybertronian size character card. Then you have the City Former character cards, and then you got the Unicron character card. So that's pretty crazy. This is it's like a comic book almost. That's how big it is. That is so cool. I dig that so much. Oh my god, I just want to have one just to frame, just put it on the wall. It's that cool. It's really cool. Anyways, thank you, Mikey and Louie. That's absolutely awesome. I will cherish these. And they did like a Beast Wars set too. There's a lot of really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. These are cool too. These are really cool also. It's really cool. It's gonna replace my dice. I have like a ton of like D20s on my desk here. I have a whole bunch of them. But I think this might replace them. Really cool. Really, really cool stuff. I'll try. I'll probably in the replay of this segment, I'll try to put some links in the pinned comment below so you guys could check out some of their other stuff too. But still pretty cool. Pretty cool. And that's more or less it. I mean, anyone who was following my Instagram or my Twitter, I had got some video game related stuff this week, like figures, like Super Mario and everything. I was posting some of those too, so. But of the Transformer stuff, that's really about it. We got a super chat from Detective Ferret for 5 bones. And Detective Ferret wants to know, do you think Prime Legacy RC could be repeated, remolded into Prowl from Animated? You know what? Yes, but the problem is that we would then be accepting that the aesthetic of what's going on essentially with Legacy would be sacrificing, because like think about it, right? What makes animated? You know, what makes animated? What makes Transformers Prime? It really is the aesthetic of the toy. And we already saw like through Bulkhead and RC how there kind of is a marriage of the two aesthetics, which is whatever is going to be that classics aesthetic mixed with Transformers Prime. So it's like, okay, it's a female motorcycle that's blue, so clearly it's Transformers Prime RC, and it's some big green tough guy with that head sculpt, so it's clearly Bulkhead. If you take that and you do that style that you would say would be animated, right? So you have to have that lanky, thin kind of design for Prowl, the visor that's almost like sunglasses and stuff, the long face. I mean, it could be done, but do you think it would be attractive? Do you think it would be aesthetically pleasing, that you would be satisfied with that being your animated Prowl, or would you really just like more animated toys? I mean, that's what a lot of people would like. Me personally, I mean, I always feel like you don't even need to make new animated toys. There's so many stuff with those sculpts that exist. I'm waving my arm here like you could see it, but all my animated toys are here. It's something where with the sculpts that already exist, you could just do simple repaints and have fun. You know, like if you took Hydro Dive Bumblebee and painted it red and just put it out there as Cliff Jumper, I know plenty of people that would be all over that like nothing, you know, like crazy. So yes, it could be done, but would people be satisfied with it? I'm already seeing how not everyone is a fan of the Bulkhead. They're not really happy with how it turned out. And now they're kind of going like, uh-oh, you know, the Optimus Prime, there's a Transformers Prime, Optimus Prime that's rumored supposed to be also part of Legacy in Wave 2. That's a Voyager that's a retool repaint of that Bulkhead mold. And some people are going like, uh-oh, how's that one going to look? Because is that going to be a long-nosed cab like Optimus Prime in Prime? Is it going to be, you know, something else? So people don't know. People don't know. It's kind of sketchy. It's kind of sketchy. So me personally, I personally wouldn't want it. I think that if you're going to do animated Prowl, do them justice. Like, do them in a really good... I mean, let's be honest. The original toy is fantastic. So what would you really want from a Legacy animated Prowl unless you're really reinventing it completely? But then what would be the point? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just the way I kind of take it. But yeah, thanks for the super chat, my friend. Downright superb, Proto. I got an Air Razor Pipes, Beast Megatron, Pterosaur, a second Tigatron. I'm going to assume the Kingdom one, not the reissue. And half off reissue Cheetor and Rat Trap this weekend. What a haul. I want to get that. See, I have all the reissues thus far, except the new ones. I don't have Tigatron. I don't have the Scorponok. I haven't seen the Tigatron yet in person. I have seen the Scorponok, but I don't want to pay that price. And Rat Trap I've seen, but I don't want to pay that price. Because I managed to get a lot of those other ones on sale too. I just didn't get Rat Trap on sale. I'd love to get Tigatron mint on card to have him on the wall. Like this, look at this, look how boring this pillar is here. Look how boring. Because what I like to do, I like to kind of just line the walls with like carded figures sometimes. And I mean, this wall right here, it would be nice to have a whole bunch of Beast Wars just on this. much like I have back there. It's kind of hard to see. I have a whole bunch of carded Beast Wars vintage ones back there. So it'd be kind of cool. They make nice, it's better than posters, you know? Carded figures are nicer than posters, in my opinion. But that's a good haul. That's a good haul. Ben Williams, I thought that Bulkhead looked amazing, even though he looks nothing like the show version. Well, it's not that it has to look like the show version. It's just I know that a lot of people were disappointed with it. I'm going to reserve my opinions until I have it in person. Like, to me, it's more about the feel of the figure, if anything else. I just want something that looks cool, you know, and feels cool. Like, if it handles well, good engineering. I mean, we'll see what happens when I get it one day in person. Let's see. We got Downright Super Proto. I saw a lot of Wave 3 Four Kingdom stuff, but I also saw Beast Megatron in the same store. It was the first time seeing it all in retail. Was that a Wave 1 figure? Beast Megatron was a Wave 1 figure, or did they do a second run in Wave 4? No, I believe Wave 4 was a reissue of Galvatron that time around. That's according to Entertainment Earth's stock assortment. Beast Megatron was just Wave 1. Maybe he's just sitting around. You know, there's just sitting around. Elves Bleed says, yeah, this week was awesome for me. Got Mutant Tigatron, Pterosaur, and reissue Tigatron and Scorponok. I'm happy that people are buying the reissues. I'm glad, because then that means there'll be more incentive to make more of them, because a lot of those G1 reissues did not sell well. They did not sell well. They were on liquidation and clearance in a lot of places. Michael Koo with the $5 super chat. Do you think Godmasters will show up in the Legacy line? Man, I would love it if they do. The closest we got to anything in terms of Master Force in general is just Minerva at some point we're going to be getting. But I don't know if she's going to be a headmaster. She's probably just going to be a straight up robot. Godmasters, headmasters, power masters, all of that. Anything that's a disconnectable kind of piece for a robot head or a power engine. We have no word if we're going to be getting any of that. Considering that the gimmick this time around is all these clear Energon weapons, I don't think they want to add a gimmick on top of a gimmick. I mean, I'd love to be wrong. Hey, bring me all the Godmasters. Give me Road King. Give me Road King, man. Do Road King Slapdash modern interpretation. I'd be down for that. But I really don't think it's going to happen. Combined with the fact we kind of have an idea of everything that's going to be happening in 2022 through different list leaks online, and we've talked about them on the past in the podcast. So I don't think we'll be getting them anytime soon. Minerva's the only one that I see on the list that could kind of be in that flavor in a lot of ways. Tom Laney, if it was called Ironhide, maybe it'd be a different story. You're talking about Bulkhead? Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't really give an Ironhide vibe. Me personally, like that kind of truck and design. It's very similar to that, especially with the cloak on the back. It's very similar to Dark of the Moon Megatron, but even then, it's still kind of a departure from that version in a lot of ways too. Doesn't have that aesthetic, obviously, that movie aesthetic. Ben Williams, Studio Series 86 Perceptor, Bumblebee 86 Cup, and Cliff Jumper showed up this week. They are all wonderful. Cup is so much better this time around. I agree. I don't have that cup yet, but I wish I did. 86 movie is my jam. That's what I grew up with. And that cup is animation accurate. Looks really, really good. It's what we should have got the first time around. But we know how it is with Hasbro. We know how it is. Sell them the lesser repaint and then sell them the better repaint later, and they'll buy both because they won't know. They've been doing it for years, and it's not going to change. Proto, our reissues our only avenue for transmetals? Well, so far there isn't any plans to do anything in terms of transmetals. The rumor list that we have online is the only Beast Wars characters we have Tarantulas coming in Legacy. We have Inferno coming in Legacy, Beast Wars Inferno. I think that's it. Obviously we have Beast Megatron. Suppose we have Beast Machines Megatron. The Dragon Megatron is going to be our leader class at some point in Legacy. And I think that's it. So Dragon Megatron is technically Transmetal 2 driver. No, it's not Transmetal 2 driver. He used the spark of G1 Megatron. It was just advertised as a Transmetal 2 toy. I don't know. That's probably the closest we got, really, in terms of Transmetal era kind of characters. But I'm sure we'll get something at some point. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we'll get something at some point. I think, though, if the reissue line does really well, they're going to go into the Transmetals. Those molds are available. They're out there. Look, all those Transmetals were used during Armada. So those molds are still around. You know? Those molds are still around. We got a gold super chat from Joey Z1231, or Joey's 1231. Got Kingdom and Vintage Tigatron and Golden Disc 1 2. Yeah, the Golden Disc one, I can't wait to get that. In time for Lunar New Year, Year of the Tiger. Good timing. A lot of tigers on the New Year. I see what you mean now about targeting the Chinese market. Bro, I'm telling you, look, and I don't like it, but Hasbro knows where the money is going to be in the future. You know, Hasbro, like, Buzzworthy Bumblebee was originally manufactured for the Chinese market. Because of what happened with the Big V, everything got shifted, and hey, we need more product here. The Cyberverse toy line, aesthetically, plastic-wise, engineering, budget, Chinese market. This new Rise of the Beast toy line that's going to be coming out, like the Rise of the Beast specific toy line, not the Studio Series Rise of the Beast stuff, but the standalone Rise of the Beast toy line stuff, Chinese market. Watch. I'm telling you, man. If you have a choice between a country of 4.4 billion people that has a guaranteed birth rate, meaning like kids, the future, you know, it's something where you go with that. You go with that, man. You like where you look at America and it's like not a lot of people are having kids. Your target demo isn't having kids. You're going to look at the 4.4 billion. I don't like it. I want them to focus on our demo and market to us, but you know, they're going where the money is, and that's unfortunately what a lot of companies. Media Max is a Minicon recruit. Thank you, Media Max, for joining the membership. Ben Williams, can you explain if Amulgus, Algomus energy is the same as Dark Energon or similar? Well, in Beast Wars 2nd, they said that energy came out of Unicron when he exploded, and it's his evil energy, where Dark Energon, which was really kind of introduced in the Transformer Prime continuity, is like the blood of Unicron. It's probably similar. I wouldn't be surprised if they're interchangeable, and as time progresses, they just kind of focus on Dark Energon. I mean, it comes from two separate continuities, so you can't really say that they clash. They're just two different interpretations. It's kind of like, is G1 Prowl the same as animated Prowl? They're both Prowls, but they're very different kind of characters. So I think they're kind of the same thing, but they're still very two different things. That's the best way to kind of explain it, Ben. Media Max, is Overlord a Dualcon? Yes and no. He's a Dualcon Power Master, if anything. But it's kind of like, is a Brain Master a Headmaster? You know? Is what do you call it? Is Shockwave or Megatron a Target Master? You know? It's one of those things where it kind of falls into a different area. Overlord is a God Master or a Power Master that just has the ability to separate and have two individual vehicles that don't have robots, but are also shared by a single source. So he's unique. He or she is unique in himself. We got a super chat from Joseph Ritter. If you could be turned into a Transformer of your choice but had to leave your family on Earth for 100 years, would you stay? Nah, I don't want to be a Transformer. Then I wouldn't be able to enjoy food. I wouldn't be able to enjoy all those other things. I wouldn't want to leave the fun of life behind. But if I was forced into it, I'd be a cool red Formula One car that races in the Cybertronian circuits, and I'd beat Blur's butt. That's my OC character, just to let you know. Every time I'm on Ultra Primal's I'm on Ultra Primal's channel, it's always racing segments, if you ever noticed. It was the Speed Metal Transformers Prime episode, and it was the Trans Euro Express G1 episode. 2 racing episodes I was brought on to because of my history with cars and racing. But yeah. Lizard Sphere X, is Big Powered or Magmatron a trio con? Big Powered, I wouldn't account that. That's more just a combiner. That's more just like, hey, instead of combining into a giant robot, we're going to combine into a giant vehicle. And considering Big Powered is made from powered masters who already have third forms to begin with, which is robot mode, alt mode, and base mode, that makes them a whole unique entity. And Magmatron, it's one giant combined robot mode, and individually they don't have robot modes. That's just individual sentient beings, and then supposedly the combined mode of those sentient beings in Dino mode is called, no joke, orgy mode. That's what they call it. I'm probably going to get flagged for that one. What's up, Aaron? You came in during orgy mode from Beast Wars Neo. He's probably going like, what the hell is he talking about? But yeah, they're triple changers in a sense, but not really. Again, there's something unique about them that doesn't 100% make them triple changers, though. Where are we at here with the super chats? I saw another one pop up somewhere here. Michael Koo with the $5 super chat. Can a Transformers live action budget allow for Unicron to be done? Of course. When it's CG, there is no such thing as budget. You could have gigantic, humongous landscapes of Cybertron, or you could have tiny stuff. Look, it's how big you make the character model. Either it's something as large as this, or you blow it up to make it huge, and then you just do scenes where you're running on a planet. And look, it's all about scale. Look at Star Wars. You have the Death Star, right? And it was a model. It was a little diorama schematic. And then it's all about scale. Oh, look at him running in the trenches. Look how big it is. And then from far away, it's literally a golf ball, you know? It's all about how you scale it. And with CG models, it's so easy today that, I mean, if we could get Unicron in all these other interpretations, a Netflix series in CG, the Beast Wars series 25 years ago in CG, Transforming Planets in Beast Wars in CG, a multi-million-dollar Michael Bay or whoever is going to direct it, hopefully not Michael Bay, but whoever is going to direct it movie from Paramount, of course. I don't think budget has anything to do with it. I think it's just more the scope of it. You know, Unicron is a final boss kind of character. It's a Thanos, where after you beat Unicron, where do you go from there? So I think that's why they always hold out on using Unicron, because if they play that card, it's all downhill from there. Look what's happening with the Marvel movies. People are not as excited for them now that we're in a post-Thanos era. It's kind of the same thing here. There's no new big bad to chase to get excited about. And Thanos really is, in a lot of ways, you know, the peak. Granted, yeah, you could bring in Galactus. You could bring in a few other, you know, cosmic universe characters from the Marvel universe. But in general, it's kind of the same thing with the Chaos Bringer. Where do you go from there after if you defeat this character? Where do you go? You're going to tell stories about, you know, I don't know, G-Axis. You know, you're going to talk about like the Fallen again, which we already kind of treaded. You know, who's the next big bad that's Unicron level? There really isn't much. Are you going to bring in Dark Nova, do the deep cuts of the Vok and that Dark Nova history from Operation Combination and Battlestars? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. That's a writing room thing where those discussions, I'm pretty sure, have, you know, it's crossed the table multiple times. It's like, oh, you know, Dark of the Moon didn't do well as this one. It didn't do well as this one. The Age of Extinction didn't do well as The Last Night. Maybe we should bring in Unicron for the next one. Get people excited because that's the big bad. But they don't really have to do that now, because now they're kind of refreshing a new universe. They have Beast Wars now. Maybe we could see something with that. Unicron will be involved in that Rise of the Beast movie, but I don't think he'll be defeated in that movie. I think that's going to be the beginning of a kind of a Thanos chase, in that we had that Avengers movie back in 2007. We see, not 2007, in 2011, we see Thanos, and then we begin that chase to that character across a whole bunch of movies. That's just good, it's a good way to get people in the theaters. Let's put it this way. What's going to be the next step in that chase to the Infinity Gauntlet? What's going to be the next step in that chase to the Chaos Bringer that is Unicron? Elves Bleed wants to know, do you think a Takara could do a burning convoy using the Kingdom mold? Bro, I think it's just a matter of time. Look, they milk molds, man. They're going to do Rasta Convoy, a.k.a. Oh, you can't see them. This is my Universe 1.0 shelf. Universe Convoy, Rasta Convoy, as I call them. They'll do that mold. They'll repaint. They'll do Burning Convoy. Burning Convoy's been done. You can see Burning Convoy from Robot Masters over there. And you can't see Burning Convoy over there, but from even Masterpiece. They'll do it. They'll do it for sure. We got a super chat from Joseph Ritter for 5 bones. Thank you, Joseph. Can you explain how all Beast Wars characters don't scream in pain how all Beast Wars characters don't scream when they're in pain? Oh, Rhinox does. Why wouldn't their animal flesh rip off? What am I missing? Well, Rhinox, definitely when he transforms, it's like Rhinox maximize, and he's like, oh, he's screaming in pain. Cheetor does his little row, and Rat Trap does. It's there. It's in there a little bit. Rhinox for sure sounds like he's screaming in pain when he tries. He's definitely the low road. He's definitely dropping one in a lot of ways. Beast Wars is funny like that because they're organic. It looks like they eat. It looks like they pass gas in a sense or too much energon. It looks like there's some kind of effect there. Call of the Wild really showed that there's some kind of effect with their beast and the DNA of the organic characters that they took over from is affecting them. I'm pretty sure there's something there. But, transformation is something that's kind of built into their cuts. So I would imagine it isn't too painful. It's kind of like I imagine it's probably like getting your ears pierced. It probably hurts the first time, but after a while, you're just fine. It is what it is. It just goes in. Giggity. Downright Superb with the super chat. Just want to say the Bumblebee movie, Ratchet, Ironhide, Soundwave, Shockwave, and Optimus Prime all have the same atomorphous blob of a silhouette. Not good. Well, that's the unfortunate thing of what I like to call the Western manga mecha aesthetic, which is if you took a lot of the Michael Bay characters, Bumblebee and Sideswipe and Jazz, and you kind of put them all next to each other and you did a silhouette. They're also very kind of similar. That's just kind of that aesthetic, unfortunately, that exists. That's unfortunately just the way it is. Hopefully, we'll get something that's more influenced by that Eastern aesthetic. Like Transformers, a lot of their designs were very influenced by 0079 original Gundam back in the day. Optimus Prime is the RX-78. I don't care what anyone says. It's the RX-78 Gundam from back in the day is Optimus Prime. Battle Convoy, which is what that Diaclone toy was based on that. Because that's what was the hotness. That was the hottest mecha series back in the late 70s, early 80s. And rightfully so. Look, Star Saber is Zeta double Zeta. It is what it is. So when you look at Western mecha, they have a very different way of how they tackle robots, for better or for worse. Some people like that aesthetic. Some people don't, especially if you were raised on Eastern robots, which a lot of us were. Media Max wants to know, Proto Mang, like that. Bro, did Chip Chase ever get a mech body? Chip Chase was supposed to appear in season 3 of G1. There actually is some art of him in one of the G1 art books of him as an adult. He never did get a mech suit, but there was plans for him to be in it. I would not be surprised with everyone having, the exosuits. Why would Chip Chase not have one? Of all people, he would for sure have one. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one who invented them. I think Sakamoto, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Sakamoto in one of his mangas for Transformers Legends had Chip Chase in it with some kind of robotic stuff. I'm pretty sure. I have a vague memory of that, but I'm pretty sure he had something. I think maybe it was with Kiss Play, or maybe it was Transformer Legends stuff, or Sakamoto did something with that. For sure. Let's see what else we got here today. How much time we got left? Oh, we got 15 minutes. We're still good. We're doing good. Tom Laney, the added shattered glass shockwave to Earth Wars. Have not heard anyone on anymore on shattered glass, but Hasbro thinks they could put it on the back burner. Well, again, Earth Wars puts in a lot of designs and stuff that don't necessarily reflect them becoming toys. It's usually the other way around. They'll usually put something in that already is a toy that's been from Combiner Wars or Power of the Primes, but they usually don't put something in there and then go, oh, and we're going to do a toy of it later. I mean, Rung is a good example. They had the Siege toy, and then they put him in Earth Wars. There's a lot of characters that just never got toys that are in Earth Wars. And Shattered Glass is more just them going, hey, we already have the character models. Let's just repaint them. New skin. It's easy money. Skins on an app is easy money. Aesthetic money. Ben Williams, what do you think about the Chronicle of Unicron across time and how people tried to defeat him, and then maybe that could lead into a final battle with the TFs in a standalone film? Well, again, just like Thanos, Unicron is one of those characters that you could have him sitting far away somewhere. In the case of Thanos, his throne and everything, which I would assume would have been next to death, but that was not the case, unfortunately. Barking orders and sending people. In the case of Unicron, he could be sending Sweeps, Scourge, Cyclonus, whatever. Make some new Unicronian characters. Apply some Unicronian characters even. Make some brand new characters, some brand new trademarks. Or just use old ones, take Sideways, make him a Unicronian character. It looks like, Nightbird is going to be a Unicronian character in the movie. So you take those, have them, send them. And that's literally what those Avengers movies were with Thanos. It was always, hey, we're doing our thing. Oh, someone that knows Thanos is coming for an Infinity Gem or Stone or something. And you could kind of just make 5 movies of that before we get to Unicron. That's how you get people into theaters. You want to create that FOMO where if you miss this Transformer movie, you're not going to understand a piece of that story. Why do you think people even watched a lot of those Marvel TV series? No one would have really been super excited about a lot of this stuff. But if you don't watch, Vision, you might not know what's happening with Spider-Man and, Doctor Strange. You need that stuff. So you kind of create the same thing there too. You want to create that interest. And the reality is when you look at what is super successful, it's not wrong to want to copy it because it works. If sugar does a lot better than salt, which one are you going to do? You're going to obviously want to do sugar. So it is what it is. Oh man, we got a lot of super chats coming in. Thanks again, guys. We have Horned Owl, who is now an 8-month member and celebrating it. And he says, Battletech and Mech Warrior have some amazing mechs. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it, but keep in mind, Battletech and Mech Warrior, look at the way that the feet of the robots are. Look at the aesthetic, the kind of shape. That's a very Western kind of design. Especially when you look at Battletech and Mech Warrior, the way the feet are. And then take those same feet and then look at Optimus Prime, look at Megatron. That's a Western aesthetic. It's very Western. Ed 209 from RoboCop. That's my go-to. I always say, look at Ed 209 and look at RoboCop 2, aka RoboCane. That is Western aesthetic to a T. How does it work? How does it move? How does it balance itself? How does it walk? Where Eastern aesthetic is like, here's the Eastern aesthetic for a robot. it's Mega Man X, and then here's the the Western aesthetic for a robot. those feet got to be able to stand up. It's got to have a heel. It's got to be able to stand where, you know, Inafune-san, the creator of Mega Man, was like, nah, you know, it's got to look cool. So it's a very different aesthetic. Again, designed by Mr. Archer, who's in the chat today. He built it in a day. He designed it in a day. Where are we at here? Where are we at? Downright Superb Proto. I just want to say that I think Transformers Zone is the pinnacle of TF design. I wish I liked the Brave series, but the bridge is too far for me. Well, TF Zone also has fantastic animation. It was an OVA in Japan, so it had a lot more of a singular budget onto one episode, as opposed to taking a budget and spreading it across, in Japan's either 13, 36, or 52. But yeah, man, Zone is awesome. Great theme song, great intro, great characters. Sonic Bomber, Diatlas, they're all cool. They're all cool. Hey man, Zone Cutter, awesome stuff. We got a gold super chat from MMA Panda. Gold super chat from MMA Panda for $20. Hey Proto, why is it that the Studio Series Spike looks better to me than the Masterpiece version, yet the head never gets a decent paint job? Good sculpt, not enough accents of paint. Maybe a budget issue? 100%, my brother. It's 100% a budget issue. I firmly still think that the Masterpiece one is slightly better. It doesn't have back wheels, the core class one, which I find kind of weird. And again, the not painting of the face is just a budget issue. What I think is cool, and I didn't mention it in the beginning, there is going to be a toggle on the back where the head of the person turns. But I mean, it's kind of sad when like a little PVC figure, you know, has more budget to put paint on the eyes and everything. You can barely see it, but there we go. You know, a little PVC figure has more budget than, and this PVC figure is like $3 from Japan. And that has more budget to do paint than a core class, but it's a different time today. You know, plastic costs. Inflation's coming, people. Inflation is coming. It's a budget, my friend. That's what it is. And it's sad because, and you could look at it in my individual segment, we were going to get like the ultimate exosuit figure from Kotobukiya, and it just never happened. Man, it was going to look so good too. Look that one up. It's like Kotobukiya exosuit, unreleased. Ooh, it looked real good. Looked really good. But thank you for the gold super chat, brother. Thank you, MMA Panda. Michael Koo with the $5 super chat. For TF Heavy Metal, what is the oldest phone that could be used for the upcoming mobile game? iPhone 5 doesn't work due to testing. I think iPhone 6 and above, if I remember correctly. iPhone 5S doesn't work. I think iPhone 6. And for Android, I don't know, unfortunately. But iPhone 6, I think, is the least it could do, if I remember correctly. And even then, it's been crashing on some other ones too. So it's still in limbo a little bit, unfortunately. Mike Rosen, now a 3-month member, and his question is, RoboCop crossover could be cool. RoboCop crossover would be awesome. The problem is, what would we do? What would it be? Do we do RoboCop's car from Detroit, the police car that transforms into RoboCop? Would we do Ed 209 that has a robot mode? Would we do... what else? You know, I don't know. And by the way, if you want a RoboCop Transformer, just get Red Alert from Transformers Armada. More specifically, his first version. Very RoboCop. Very RoboCop. Or a little bit RoboCop is the Universe Swerve, which was the giveaway item. Very, very rare to get today. He has a very RoboCop kind of aesthetic, too. His head sculpt. Dead or Alive, You Are Coming With Me. One of my favorite movies of all time, RoboCop 1. Absolutely fantastic. Paul Verhoeven was the director, who would go on to do Basic Instinct and better known, Starship Troopers. Fantastic director. Absolutely crazy man. He's crazy, but he's awesome. Media Max, Pro Bro, can you refresh me on your opinion of Commander Rodimus' size, engineering, and the overall value Have you seen it in person? I unfortunately don't own it yet. I know you're probably going like, what? You don't have the Commander class Rodimus? He just didn't show up in my area at all. Like the big V just kind of made my Toys R Us go, we're not getting big products. We're just going to get a lot of small stuff. Walmart never carried it, and that was it. You know, so it's one of those things that I'm just going to wait for one day where I'll just get it cheap or something from somebody. But I have seen it in person because other people that I know own it. And I mean, the budget works. It's just like Masterpiece MPO9 Rodimus, where it's all in the trailer. It's all in the trailer gimmick. It all has the little pieces and everything, and the storage and the weapons. It has, you know, they gave him the extra sword, the Matrix blade or the blade of Primus, to kind of add to that extra budget on top of having his photon eliminator. I think the budget works for it. I think it's right on the money. I still I lean more amazing, and this is coming from me, so it really says something. I still think Jetfire is probably the best commander class we've gotten thus far. The Siege Jetfire, I think it's a fantastic mold. I think it comes with a ton of extra pieces and accessories and the engineering and the way that the hand works with the peg hole. So, and that one was slightly cheaper, if I remember correctly. I think it was like $3 cheaper or something when it was Siege, before the first MSRP markup. But I still think it looks great, the Rodimus. Head sculpt looks a little weird, but otherwise I think it looks really good. It has a very Studio Ox Obari kind of flavor to it. But I still think Studio Series 86 Rodimus, Hot Rod, is the best. Is the best of all the Roddies we've gotten thus far. Faux show. Although one of my favorite Rodimus Prime figures is a third-party one. It's the what's it called there? The DX9 Carry, I think it's called. DX9 Carry Rodimus. Love that one. Love it. Love that one. Really good too. Really has that Obari flavor. I love Obari. Matsumi Obari is one of my favorite anime mecha designers, anime character designers. I just love everything he does. Love everything he does. Even the hentai. Downright Superb just saying RoboCop Terminator comic book crossover is insane and written by Frank Miller. Yeah, and it's pretty cool. I read it many years ago. Video games are kind of meh. Oh, I missed Mike Rosen. Mike Rosen said RoboCop Ford Taurus with RoboCop Headmaster. Yeah, I could see. See, again, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. We could do a Headmaster. That'd be pretty awesome. Because there isn't many things that you could use for transforming in RoboCop. You know, you'd have to like Ed 209 like transforms Cheetor style. He kind of just stands up and a head pops out of the top of it or something. You can't humanize Ed 209 like that. You got to make him like, you know, inhuman. And that's why he's so scary. That's why he doesn't have a face on him. But yeah, I could see that little Ford Taurus Headmaster Transformer. If Ford would be down for that, that'd be pretty cool. When is RoboCop's anniversary? Is that 1987 or 1986? When did RoboCop come out? Because, you know, all of these crossovers are all like tied to anniversaries too. So that'd be pretty cool. I'd love that. I'd love that 100%. You know, the only hot toy I ever want to own is the RoboCop Hot Toys. Just to give you an idea. Like I would love that. Ben Williams, did you enjoy the idea of 86 Ron Freeman draft of Megatron scrambling to be interned at the Hall of Heroes before he died? That would have been an ace alternative. Ron's original script, there's a lot of things in it that I'm kind of glad it didn't happen. I like Ron. Ron's a really cool dude. I got to meet him twice, and I bought a lot of stuff from him, from his personal collection. That was just sitting in his garage. And then like Ron gave me like a Polaroid photo of him and Stan Lee, because they're like supposedly were best buddies back in the day. But Ron's a cool dude. I got him to, where's one of his books? Where's one of his books that I got from him? The Optimus Prime book. Where is that one? Somewhere here. Oh, maybe it's on top. I think it's with Dan Gilbazon's book. Ron's a cool dude. But yeah, you know what? And there was that alternative ending too, where Optimus merges with Cybertron, and then he becomes like kind of like Primus to get rid of Unicron. Whole bunch of crazy ideas. But it's one alternative. Not the best alternative, but it's one. Detective Ferret with the $2 super chat. I would love to see a Yu-Gi-Oh! X Transformers. Well, that one's really open-ended, and it's kind of funny that you say Yu-Gi-Oh! I was sorting a whole bunch of TCG stuff, and this boy sitting nearby. I'm actually not a big Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. What I really like about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is owned by Konami, and Konami, a lot of times in their Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, they put Konami video game characters. So I collect Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards based on those characters, like Gomon, the Mystical Ninja, Castlevania, Gradius. So I buy those cards. But once in a while, when I'm buying collections from people, they have other stuff that they throw in. So I got like a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. It'll go on sale at some point at some convention in the near future. Although I like Kaiba. Kaiba's a pretty cool character. Kaiba's pretty cool with his blue eyes, white dragon. But yeah, in terms of like, yeah, you have all those monsters. You know what I mean? You take Blue Eyes White Dragon, take Dragonstorm from the Michael Bay movies, paint them blue. You got that one right there. How would you do Dark Magician? You know, just like get a character that has like a cone head. I don't know, maybe one of the cone heads from the Seekers or something. Do Dark Magician. There's a lot of those. There's so many ideas you could do with that. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Also has a very Egyptian kind of flavor, so some of those characters too could be done. It's cool. It's cool. But thank you for the super chat. Downright Superb Proto, what is your favorite Super Mario game? I've said this for years. It's not the best one. It's just my personal favorite. I love Super Mario Brothers 2. I've always loved Super Mario Brothers 2. I have a huge nostalgia for it. I love the Shy Guys. I've talked about the Shy Guys on the stream many times. I just love how different it is from every Mario game. That jump on a character and pick up kind of mechanic has not been used since properly. It really is. It's Mario 1, Mario 2 Japan, also known as the Lost Levels, and Mario 3. That's the real lineage of Mario in Japan. And Mario 2 USA, as it's called, is kind of this weird stepchild. But I love it. I love the fact that you could play as 3 other characters, and Luigi, Toad, and Peach, aka Princess Toadstool back then. Always will be my favorite. Love the soundtrack, like iconic music. The Super Mario Brothers Super Show pulled a lot from Super Mario Brothers 2 specifically. The sound effects, the music, the fact, the throwing of aspect. Love Mario 2. It will always be my favorite. I own every version of that game, mint in box. I own the Mattel version, the later releases. I'm obsessed with Mario 2. Any Mario 2 merchandise that exists, and there's very little of it, I buy it all. Love it. That's why I love Shy Guys. It's Mario 2, baby. Sniffix, Shy Guys, Bezos, Phantos, and Wart. Wart needs a figure. He has a little Keshi Gumu figure, but Wart needs a full-size figure. Bring back Wart. He makes cameos once in a while on some things. Made me go on a Mario rant. Protomang, what would you? Why would? Oh, yeah, I didn't see the here. Protomang, what would you want in a Commander class Optimus? Make him Power Master Optimus Prime. Make him, God Jinrai. There's your Commander class Optimus. Michael Koo says RoboCop was 1987. Okay, so there you go. So we could do a 40th anniversary or something when that rolls around, if they want to do it. Let's do a Transformer based off of an R-rated movie. That'd be bold, but I'd love it. I would love it. J.R. Mina with the 3 months. 3 months, J.R. Mina. Well, still welcome being a 3-month J.R. Mina member from the Philippines. Hi, everyone. Just listening while doing some chores. Yeah, that's always what... You know what, JR, let me tell you something. When I wake up in the morning, I always take my iPad, my trusty iPad, and I listen to my wrestling podcasts in the morning. It's kind of like my morning ritual while I have breakfast. So podcasts are good for that. It's always the good thing. It's always the best. Podcasts are good. They make the world go round, let me tell you. I love my podcasts. Downright Superb Proto. Well, what is the likelihood of a TF Super Mario crossover? Not very likely, and I'll tell you why. Nintendo, and let me tell you, as a big Nintendo merchandise collector, Nintendo is very picky about who touches their brands and stuff. Like, you have to understand, when Mario was ridiculously hot in the 80s, like 1985 to like 1989, like ridiculously hot, like more famous than Mickey Mouse or anything. What Mario action figures were there? We had these little applause PVC figures, you know, and that was it. Like a couple of wind-ups, nothing. And then like the next well-known Super Mario figures was when Mario 3 came out and McDonald's put out a promotion. Like, they were super picky when it came to merchandise, and they still are today. Like, you know, Jack's Toys, which right now has the license for all the Super Mario stuff, and now, you know, like Hot Wheels has the Mattel stuff with the Mario Kart things. There's little things here and there, but they're very picky, and as a result, for them to do crossovers with Hasbro, man, Hasbro's going to have to sit down with Nintendo and work out some kind of deal that probably no one's going to agree to, and it's just not going to work out in the end, and that'll be that. In the same way that, you know, people go, why can't we see a Mario game on PlayStation or Xbox? Nintendo keeps everything very close to the breast. They don't want to mess with that. I mean, when we got our third party, you know, Super Mario and Luigi Transformers at TFCon, I was super ecstatic. I was so happy that we got those. So happy. I bought 2 of them. That's how much I love them. And if you could find them on eBay cheap, like for less than $100, get them. It has amazing art on it. The art was done by Josh Perez from IDW. Fantastic set. Fantastic set. It's a must in anyone's collection. If you easily, you know, spend like $50 on like a leader class, you could buy this 2-pack Mario Luigi third party. It's out there. Get it. Horned Owl Claw Grippo is my favorite boss from Mario 2. Having to catch the boulders he threw and toss them back was really fun. And Claw Grip was actually a Mario 2 USA exclusive. He wasn't in the Japanese version, oddly enough, which was Doki Doki Panic. He was added. I love it. Same thing, you know, like just the whole mechanic of riding on top of characters or throwing characters or getting the key and running away. All of that is lost. Like, we don't have that in Mario anymore. It's such a shame. I understand because of its origins and where it came from and everything like that. And they're trying to distance themselves from it. But still cool. Love it. Ben Williams, my queen. I guess I'm the queen. Am I a queen? A Rocco Modern Life crossover with TF Rocco's car as core class Rocco would be sweet. His car can talk at times, and surely this is perfect, or not. Or you take Transformers Beast Wars Bone Crusher and turn it into Heifer, his best friend. That'd be cool too. I always liked Heifer. And you could take Snapper, and that could be, what's his name? Filbert was his friend. You wash your hands. Was it something? You wash your hands, something, you wash your hands. Oh my God. I love that show. It's been so many years since I watched Rocco's Modern Life. Me and my sister loved it. And what was his name? What was his neighbor? Mr. Big Head? Bedhead? Something like that. Downright Superb Proto. How the hell did a TF Street Fighter crossover happen? Is there a link with Takara and Capcom? No, it's called Capcom in the past 5 years has been throwing their licensing everywhere. Everywhere. Capcom, like I'm telling you, if me and 5 guys got like $5,000 together, I could probably get a license from Capcom to do Mega Man stuff. Capcom is throwing their license everywhere. It's no surprise. Magic the Gathering, which is owned by Hasbro, is going to have Street Fighter Magic the Gathering cards this year. Okay? Street Fighter, Capcom, Mega Man, Resident Evil, to the highest bidder with them. They need the money, they'll take it. And I love Capcom. Mega Man is, I love my Mega Man. I love my Mega Man. Here, let's activate the light on it. I love my Mega Man, you know? But the thing is that they're in a funky place right now, monetary wise, and they'll take any money from anyone who wants to license stuff. So if Hasbro goes, hey, you want to do a collab, like, you know, to celebrate the anniversary of the '86 movie and Street Fighter 1, they're like, okay, sure. Hey, let's make Street Fighter relevant, you know? And I love Street Fighter. I am a arcade rat. I play Street Fighter competitively, but it's not the '90s anymore. Let's put it that way. They're not as famous. JR Mina with the super chat for 125 Filipino pesos. I love saying that. Hi, Proto. I will ask this now since I have some chores to do. What's for dinner? More power to the podcast. I love you, brother. You're awesome. What I'm going to have tonight is I want to have pasta with gnocchi because I worked out and I need to have some concentrated carbs. But tomorrow, I'm probably going to have okonomiyaki again. I always have like a lot of Asian food, like or heavy on the carbs because I got to replenish it and stuff. But yeah, I'm probably going to have pasta tonight. Pasta, and I don't know. Maybe I'll have some cold cuts or something for lunch tomorrow too. Haven't planned it out yet. I did my groceries today, but I didn't really plan out what I'm going to eat for tomorrow. Thank you for the pesos, my friend. I love getting the Filipino pesos. I love it. Love it. Mike Rosen wants to know if they bring back transforming McDonald's characters, they could make a repaint of Grease Pit into a transforming McDonald's. That'd be awesome. We had the transforming McDonald's McChangeables. We had it for the 30th anniversary. I have them in my McDonald's McChangeables display. They did the Happy Meal and they took the cheeseburger. No, they took the cheeseburger and turned it into a hamburger. They actually resculpted it, and you were able to pick those up. They were selling out like crazy. Me and my sister, we were going to every single McDonald's, and we were going to the guy. And my sister, if she's listening, she sometimes comes on the stream. Let's just say she's able to seduce men very easily, and she was able to get it. She'd be like, "Excuse me, could we get these, special McDonald's toys?" And it was good. It was great. It was great. Oh man. But yeah, they got reissued not too long ago. I think it was just before 2020 the reissues came out. Was it? Something like that. They're out there. I love the McChangeables, but it would be cool because Grease Pit, aka Ironworks, is easily one of my favorite Transformers in the past 3 years. And if we could take that mold and turn it into something else, that'd be great. But let me show you guys something. Hold on a second. Do I have it nearby? Because I didn't put it in the display yet. Oh no, I don't think I have it nearby. I have the paperwork. I'll show you that. One sec, my friends. There was a toy line that was available at Ribeiro Steakhouse in Japan where you had transforming restaurants. I actually did a toy review on it. There you go. Transforming restaurants. Look at that. I can't get focus here. These little restaurants that transform. And they were all based off of the Ribeiro Steakhouse brand in Japan, which is like a popular family restaurant steakhouse. I did a review on these on my Proto Retro channel many years ago. I got them from Azusa's table. I remember seeing them going like, Azusa? What is this? Transformo Restauranto. And I was like, bro, sell it to me. So they've done it. They've done it officially. There is transforming restaurants. They're out there. And they're very simple, but they're very cute. Where are we at? Downright Superb. Oh, it was Bev and Ed Bedhead. Thank you. It was Bevhead. Big Head, Bevhead. Oh my God. I remember that. I remember how he used to have a beautiful face and then his face fell into a grinder and now he has the face that he normally has. I remember those episodes. Downright Superb wants to know, Proto, what do you think of a new Mario animated movie cast? Oh yeah. You know what? Look, I'll be honest with you. Whenever I read Super Mario, I hear Captain Lou. I know everyone hears, Charlie Manson. It's a me, Mario. I always hear Captain Lou. Captain Lou will always be my Super Mario. Hey, paisanos, it's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. And what's his name? Who is Luigi? Oh my God. I forget his name, Charlie something. He was born in Montreal too. Forget his name. He passed away not too long ago. You know, that's my Mario and Luigi forever. Those are the voices that I'll always hear in my head if I'm reading a comic or something. But, you know, the problem with when it comes to having famous actors doing voice acting is, you know, that the voice director is going to tell them not to do acting. Like, they're going to use your normal voice. Like, you don't get Eddie Murphy for Shrek and tell him do another voice, you know? You're going to ask them to do the Eddie Murphy voice, to do their own voice. So you know that Star-Lord, a.k.a. What's the guy from Jurassic Park, his character in Jurassic Park and everything, you know, he's just going to do his normal voice. He's just going to do his normal voice, and that's going to be Mario. Will it be good? I don't know. Prove me wrong. I have my misgivings. I personally don't think we need a Super Mario animated movie in theaters. And if it does exist, it's got to be 10 out of 10, because if it does not succeed, Nintendo's going to regress back for another 20 years and not do anything. Like, I think they're honestly taking a risk by doing this. I really do. I think, like, they were scared for years to do a movie. But that's just my take. Aiden Tolbert with the super chat for 5 bones. Sorry for being slow on the super chats, my friends. Just so many of them coming in here. You turn a page and you turn a page, you wash your hands. That's right. That's the line from the comic. You turn the page, you wash your hands. You turn the page, you wash your hands. Thank you. That's what it was. You know, Jaws D does it really well too. Jaws D does that line really well. Imagine a Transformer character based on Godzilla villains. Ooh, that would be good. That'd be good. See, again, that goes back to like Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon with the 3 heads. So you get King Ghidorah, and you do like, again, take Dragonstorm, paint it all gold. Oh my goodness, that'd be really good. But who would be Megalon? Who would be a Megalon design? Ooh, that's our robot one. And then, of course, Mechagodzilla. Tons of those, you know. Tons of Mechagodzilla. That'd be fun. That and Ultraman. I'd like to see an Ultraman crossover. Because of all of Tsuburaya's stuff, Ultraman will always be my favorite. I have a lot of nostalgia for that. Godzilla's awesome, too. Funny story. One of the TF cons, that same weekend, there was like a Godzilla marathon that was happening. It was like a monster marathon week. And I remember going to my room and going, oh, I should really go down to the bar and hang out with people. But there's a Godzilla marathon. And I was like, oh my God. And it went until like 4 a.m. in the morning. And I was like, I got to go to bed. If I don't go to bed, like, because I was just watching them all. It was so good. Oh, it was so good. Detective Ferret for the $5 super chat. Repaint Beast Wars Megatron green so we could have Transformers X Rugrats. You want Reptar? No, there's got to be a better mold. No, who would be a good Reptar? You need something with. Who would be a good Reptar mold? Because Reptar, he has like those little fins on his head too, like those little blue fins. Who would be a good Reptar mold? Not Beast Wars Megatron. It's got to be something better. Because Reptar is that classic, like, you know, before we knew how T-Rexes were supposed to stand up, because, you know, when we thought they were, like, upright, you know, like, who would be a good Reptar mold? There's got to be someone that would be better. Someone say who would be a better Reptar. I can't think of one. We need a good Dino mold that would have that. But not like the Dinobot mold, not like a Velociraptor. It has to be something, I don't know. But that'd be cool. Reptar? I love Reptar. Reptar, gotta find that Reptar. Filbert also is a lounge singer. Oh, is he? I must have missed that episode. Prodo Pimpu, sorry if I'm prying, but do you have a significant other, or do you think? What do you think of your multiple nerd rooms? And what do they think of your? Yes, but when you have a significant other, and you're as crazy as me, you need to have someone who's into this. That's the difference. Yes, I have a significant other. And yes, she respects and loves this. The thing is that you have to understand, when I was dating in the past, whenever I would meet people, I always made sure to foster who I was first before they would see this. And this is before when I used to live with my parents. And it was still crazy like this when I lived with my parents. You have to, what's the word I'm looking for? You have to kind of ease them into it. And then you then have to hope that they're honest with you. Because this is a crazy hobby. We spend a lot of money in this crazy hobby. And one of the things that creates breakups or divorces is usually about money. So when you get a significant other and you have this hobby, you got to make sure he or she is on board, because it's a crazy ride. And the best way to test it, and I've said this before, go out with them and buy a $10 Transformer toy. If they wince at that $10 Transformer toy, it's only going to get worse. Hey, honey, look at this masterpiece I got. What did you pay? Divorce. So that's just my little word of advice. But you have to have someone that's into it, you know? Multiple rooms. My house is crazy, yo. My house is crazy. Ultra Primal, who I think is in the chat, you know, has seen my house. It's crazy. The only rooms that don't have toys in them is the living room, the kitchen, the dining room, the bathrooms, and my bedroom. And the bedroom actually doesn't have any toys in it. It has books, has lots of books, but no toys. But every other room, video game room, miscellaneous toy room, another toy room, another toy room. We're reporting from one right now, which is wall-to-wall Transformers. It's okay to pry. Some people always want to know the personal things about the people they watch. It's cool. Ben Williams, your sister was amazing at getting all those photos taken with wrestlers. Oh, yeah. Those are old photos, Ben. Yeah, my sister, funny story with that was I had chicken pox. Just my luck. So we got tickets for the WWF. This was 1996. Yeah, it was 96. And no, it was 97 because China made her debut in 1997. And I remember like that morning waking up and just chicken pox everywhere. And my sister saw me and she called my mom and I was like, no, we got to see the WWF live. So we did something that we shouldn't have done. We went to the event. Here I am with chicken pox. We went to the event. My mom and my sister sat left and right, so I wasn't next to someone. I wasn't next to someone in the stands. We shouldn't have done it, but I wasn't gonna miss seeing Owen Hart, Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker. Who else was there? British Bulldog, the Headbangers, Legion of Doom, China, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Man, who else was there? It was such a lineup, legend lineup by today's standards. So we went to see that, but then the next day they did autograph session where they would play baseball with the locals and stuff, and I couldn't go. With the chicken pox and everything, that would just be irresponsible. So my sister went. She got tons of photos. She got tons of autographs. She got autographs for us. Owen Hart was amazing. He was so nice. He's like, oh, where's Daniel? He didn't get an autograph. Like, he was so cool. Rest in peace, Owen Hart. What an amazing guy. What's crazy about all those photos that Ben mentions that my sister got, most of those people aren't even with us anymore. It's crazy. I think Hunter S. Helmsley is one of the few guys that is still alive in all of those photos. It's nuts. It's nuts. Downright superb. Proto, do you currently have a holy grail that you're actively searching for? I wouldn't call it a holy grail. I would just more like to upgrade some of my previous holy grails. Like I always wanted to get Grandis, right? And I have oh, actually you can't see him. He's behind this wall here. I have Grandis, but he's not in the condition I'm happy with. I have Dino King, but he's not in the condition I'm happy with. I have, Black Zarek, but he's not in the condition I'm happy with. Those are, my holy grails are more Japanese G1 stuff from that era. but I don't want to pay the price that people are asking right now for them complete. That's about it, really. Newer stuff, nothing really. Holy Grails for me are always vintage. Only because Sonic did good. Well, Sonic was a fantastic movie, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. That was Tom Laney, by the way. Sonic was absolutely fantastic. Very good movie. Jim Carrey did a great job, too. I look forward to the sequel. Knuckles looks hype. Even though I'm not that big a Sonic fan. I play it casually. I was a Nintendo kid during the Sega Nintendo Wars. But I like Sonic. Sonic 2 is my favorite Sonic game. Hey Proto, it would be cool to get a Centurion droid equivalency for Beast Wars characters. We kind of did. A little bit with Tricranicus, but yeah, I guess not really. What figure and accessories would you like to see? Well, I've always said, I was having this discussion with Jason, one of my buddies, is do an accessory pack and include all the Dinobot swords that are missing for the leader classes. You know, give all those accessories in an accessory pack that's missing for a lot of characters. So give the Dinobots their swords, give Cheetor his gut gun, you know, for like, let's say your Kingdom Cheetor. You know, there's a few that could be done there. So just that alone, just like go through all the characters and go, what's missing? And then put that in the accessory pack. That'd be pretty cool. And that would make it up to the fans. They wouldn't have to go get some 3D printed third party or whatever. They could actually give the money to Hasbro. Godzilla Kaiju could be a pretender. Yeah, I could see that. As much as I'd love more pretenders, I think a transforming one would be cooler, though. As much as I want more pretender stuff. Media Max, so does Airazor being a male character in the Japanese dub make things an alternate continuity? Yes, but then Japan retconned it that she's now female again. So at first they made him male, and then Japan's like, you know what? She's female, and our dub was just this micro continuity. That's kind of what happened in the end. Beast Wars, when they did their sequel manga, Beast Wars Metals, they made her female. When they did all the later material, I have to grab one of my books here. I think it's this one. Is it this one? Yeah, this is the one that shows how buff. Is it this one? Or no, it's not this one. This is one of the older ones with all the old Japanese art in it. It's a good one, though. I like this one, though, because it talks about the mutant heads and all the weird merchandise that we never got. Look at those. Aren't those cool? I want to get those PVCs. There's something for me to hunt for. All those cool PVCs. Look at all those. With the Rhinox with his spinning boa thingy. Toy accurate. Pretty cool in the model kits. I have a bunch of these. These ones I managed to get throughout the years. Those are pretty cool, too. And Shadow Panther. Cool stuff. But yeah, I think that since then they've settled on her being a female character permanently, and that has been that. That has been that. Michael Koo with the super chat for $5. With the increased cost of plastic and shipping and containers, will we see the end of to scale in Transformers? No. They'll always have price points. They will always have price. It's price points, if anything, is more for stores than it is for anything else. You got to have those price points and those MSRPs and stuff like that. They'll always have scales. Always, Michael. Downright Superb with the $2 Super Chat Proto. How would you run the ideal TF convention? I always felt like, personally, and it's no knock to TFCon because I've worked with TFCon for years, I always felt BotCon ran a great ship. I always felt BotCon was my ideal Transformer convention. Nice big box, nice big prestigious box set that makes it feel special, like you went to the event with a theme. T-shirts, hats, all kinds of stuff that really makes it feel like a Disney weekend. Like you're taking a big vacation to a pilgrimage where it was a big deal. And I miss that. And my ideal Transformer convention would be returning to that kind of over-the-top BotCon kind of roots that, unfortunately, since 2016, look, TFCon's great, but it still feels small in a lot of ways. It has the guests, it has the dealer room. And that's really it. Yeah, it has the third-party exclusives that are sold at certain booths, but no one talks about those. You know, the weekend, people get excited about it, and then no one ever talks about those again. But people still want those animated BotCon exclusives. People still want the Day of the Future Past BotCon exclusives. People still want, you know, the Machine Wars exclusives. The 2007, you know, Games of Deception exclusives. They still want those. How many people want TFCon? I'm looking at all the ones I worked on. TFCon 2010 head robots, or TFCon, you know, God, you know, like any of them really. Some are really cool. Don't get me wrong. The Super Mario one I think is the best. It'll always be the best. But like, you know, the Shafter and Access Masterpiece. No one wanted those. So to me, ideal TF convention. Just do what BotCon did. BotCon was A+, man. A+. Proto is a super spreader. Yeah. It was a different time. It was a different time. You know what? When it comes to chicken pox, though, you're doing people a favor if you get it young, though. That's why, because my sister, when I caught chicken pox, my sister had not caught them, and my mother made her stay close to me so she could catch them, and she didn't catch them, and she's worried about that, because if you get chicken pox later in life, that's not good. So, yeah, I am a super spreader. I know we shouldn't have done that, but I had to go to my wrestling, man. I'm not going to miss it. Actually, you know, when you think about it, right? That was the second time I would have been able to see Owen Hart alive before he passed away. If I would have skipped that, the next time he would have been in Montreal would have been Survivor Series for the Montreal Screwjob, and then that would have been it. So I'm glad that I went. No regrets, my friend. No regrets. No regrets. We have 4 minutes left, people. 4 minutes left in the stream with the super spreader here. The proto spreader. Oh, that sounds weird. Tom Laney just got over shingles a couple of weeks ago. It was no good. Yeah, see, that's what is it shingles you get from it, eh? If you get it much older. Man. That's why, like, my sister, she didn't catch it. She was forced to be around me, and she didn't catch it, and it was very weird. It's very weird that she didn't catch it at all. It was like it wasn't compatible or something. Like, rub against me, you know? A good crossover would be Breaking Benjamin doing a crossover with Lion Theme and Sid Wilson from Slipknot. Woo, that's some deep cuts. With DJ Starscream guesting as a Turnable. That's some deep cuts. Actually, you'd have to have Blaster in there somewhere. How could you leave him out? I actually got it in my eye, so yeah, not good. Ooh, Tom, geez. Sorry to hear that, man. Proto Spreader. That's going to be a thing now, Proto Spreader. You know, it's funny, I just looked at this Beast Wars. It was brought to you by Sony magazines. Look at the spread there, too, and all the Series 1 toys, even Bat Convoy. That's so cool. And then the other ones. The good old days. The good old days. Cybertrons versus Destrons. Really good book. Really good book. I love the art on them, too. Like, just all the Japanese art. Look at the Japanese art for them. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? As even their power readouts. Everything. Crocodile Megatron. Really awesome. Really awesome. This is another one of my Beast Wars books. This is another source book, this one. It's mostly just text and stuff, but there's some cool things in here. Got like this cool cool little mini poster they give you. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff. Every time I go to a Transformer convention and Azusa or Tony Prio, when they have any old Japanese source books from like the 90s or 80s, I buy them like that. If Hydra doesn't get to them first. Let's see. We got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. Mine was on my head and forehead. Oh, it's so brutal. Ben Williams, you can make Mega Spreader leader of the Spreadicons. Almost sounds like Mega Shredder. Mediamax Protomang, are there a Church of Primus or religious zealots in Cybertron? Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. That stuff was covered in in the Simon Furman run of the old Marvel books back in the day. There was all kinds of like worshippers of Primus and like not zealots, but like priests and stuff like that. And when you think about religious zealots, well, that falls even into the IDW stuff with Star Saber. He was kind of like a religious zealot kind of character. So really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Tom Laney says, always love getting magazines, everything digital now. Toy Fair and Wizard. Toy Fair magazine is amazing. I used to buy that every chance I get. Wizard magazine was also a classic. Another one that's really good right now that exists is Toy Robot. Plug. It's actually not my magazine, but a friend of mine is working on it. Really good magazine too. It's available right now. You know, awesome stuff. Are we already done? Oh, we are done. All right, guys. So I just want to say thank you again for everyone who came by, everyone who super chatted. I hope you like the new system where your words pop up over here in my hand and you get a little bumblebee. What I'm trying to do is I want to see if I could put a whole bunch of different ones that could interchange, so you get a different character that appears every time. Like I have Jazz, I have Optimus, I have a whole bunch of them, and a Slag. I'm going to try to figure out a way that I can make it interchange. I'm still getting used to all this stuff with the streaming and everything. But again, thanks everyone for coming. Again, if you want to support the podcast, you know, we have Patreon. The link is below. If you want to join the Patreon, help support the podcast, you know, come join us on Discord, through the Patreon, everything like that. If not, you know, if you don't like Patreon, we have the YouTube membership. That's another way that we could ask as many questions as you want, like all the greens over here, all the green people. But again, guys, thank you all for coming. Thanks for all the love and support for the podcast. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that like button. Very important. Be sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We're almost there. I need to get those subscribers to get to 10,000. It's not going to change my life one way or another, but it'd be really cool to get 10,000 subscribers. Anyways, guys, thanks all for coming. This is awesome stuff. It's always awesome to have a stream with you guys and cover the news and stuff. A lot of cool stuff. And again, don't forget, you know, our sponsors, Symbiote Studios, and all of their crazy stuff, the plush, the pins, and the t-shirts. Go to symbiotestudios.com. Pick up a Transformer t-shirt. Rock one out. I know I'm going to be wearing one at TFCon whenever I make my grand return. So I'll be wearing a whole bunch of them, like a clothing deal almost. And they're cool pins and stuff. Metal pins. You know, and of course they're plush. Just chilling in the back. Unicron always judging me every time, going, what's wrong with that guy's hair? What's wrong with that guy's hair? I need to cut my hair. I got to get another haircut. But anyways, thanks everyone for coming. Thanks for all the love and support. Check out also Hasbro's channel and everything. And as always, guys, like I say, roll